Behind every dirt bike ride is a successful dirt bike load, and let me show you. And hey, I'm Angelisa, and I'm gonna show you how you can drive up your ramp with your dirt bike. All right, and this is a disclaimer that actually is not recommended to drive up on your ramps. It's recommended to load your dirt bikes while walking up the ramp and having a buddy to help you, or you can use a winch. So when loading, use this technique at your own risk. Know how to ride your bike, know how to use your clutch and use your brake. And I drive up the ramp because it's easy for me and I cannot depend on other people to help me. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can drive up your ramp safely and securely with using these techniques that I use every single time. And the reason for that is it's the only way I feel comfortable loading my dirt bike. It cuts down on time and I'm not having to muscle up my ramp. And better yet, I don't need to ask for help because I am loading by myself. And where I live, I need to be independent on loading by myself because I don't have a whole lot of people to ask for help. So that's a win in my books, and I'm going to show you how you can do it. And before we begin, I want to give a huge thank you to Erickson Manufacturing for sponsoring today's video. They know the importance of having strong and reliable products that keep your precious cargo and you safe. So I'm really excited to show you all the products that I use on the daily from Erickson. Let's go. What you need for a successful and safe load are the following: a truck, a wide ramp, ratchet straps, your helmet, and a buddy. Okay, we're learning how to drive up a ramp and we want a spotter to be there just in case. Let's start this load as easy as we can for our first drive up the ramp. Number one is to find a slight hill so that way your ramp is not going to sit too high and too steep. You want to smooth it out so it's at a slight incline so it's not as scary when you first drive up. This way it makes it less intimidating. The more you practice this, I promise it will get easier and easier every load to the point where you can load at any steepness of the ramp. So now I found my slope. You can't tell on camera, but there is a slight slope from the pavement to the grass. And I am going to use the Trifold ramp that I have from Erickson Manufacturing. Now you might be wondering, but Trifold ramp, this is a sled ramp. I know, but hear me out. Because it is such a wide ramp, I have way more footing just in case I don't feel as confident on coming up onto the ramp. And this way I can get off the bike if I need, and I can walk it back down. And using a skinny ramp, because I'm under 5 feet, it just doesn't work. I have to ask for help in loading my dirt bike. And again, because I live in the middle of nowhere, I can't depend on other people to help me load my dirt bike, especially when I want to go ride. So Trifold sled ramp is my choice to load my dirt bikes. And personally, I rather load with ease than stress out every time because I need that person to lend me a hand. All right, now that we got the ramp set up, I have it lined up perfectly the way that I want. The next is to strap it down. So I'm going to strap my ramp with these straps that the Trifold comes with, and I'm gonna strap it to my hitch underneath. So I'm gonna strap it in through some holes like so, and I'm going to give that a big yank. Make sure that it is secure. So I'm going to loop this strap like so. Give it a good pull. And we'll clip it back here as well and give that a good yank. So I'm going to go one step and secure it even more. The better you secure your ramps, the more sturdy they're going to be, and then you have no worries of it shifting when you are loading it, especially when you're driving up. I would say that's probably the most scariest thing, is when you try to drive it up and then all of a sudden your ramp folds in, your ramp comes up. I've seen it way too many times, especially with sledding. So just do the extra step and secure it from the middle to your hitch, and then that way it just clamps it down a little bit better. So don't miss this step, don't skip it. So this ramp is going nowhere. Okay, next step is prepping your straps. so that when you get your dirt bike onto your flatbed, onto your truck, into the bed of your truck, you have your straps ready to go, and it's just easy to strap them down. So in my case, I'm using the Erickson ratchet straps here, and I'm gonna clip that in to the clips. All right, so this is what I mean about prepping your straps. So you have them ready to go on the clips, and then I like to rest them on top of my truck. I love ratchet straps because I am on the weaker side. I don't have a whole lot of muscle to me, especially in my upper body. So the ratchet straps really give me that muscle power that I don't have, that I can really crank down and secure my bike. Those pull straps that you see don't do well for me because it's really hard to get my bike sturdy. So the ratchet straps have always been my go-to to really secure my dirt bike down. And then that way, when I am driving on some really rough terrain, rough roads that are really bumpy, my bike is secured and it's not going to fall down. Now that we have set up ourselves for success, it's time to load. Let's go. But before we load, I'm gonna ask my buddy, which is my husband, to spot me. All right, so I know that driving up the ramp is gonna feel scary. It's gonna feel intimidating, but asking for help in the beginning is just gonna help you gain that confidence every time you load. So we want to get the feeling of having the ramp underneath our tires as we come up. So in this case, we are gonna use consistent throttle going up into the back. And if we stop halfway, then we have our buddy to help keep the bike up so that we can get off, back it up, and try it again. And don't worry, like these steps are gonna get you feeling more confident in loading your dirt bike as safely as possible. So making sure you're geared up, wear your helmet, wear your gloves, get geared up so that you can have a successful load. All right, I'm gonna wear my microphone on my helmet. All right, so I have Kenny, who's my buddy for this demonstration. I am gonna drive up the ramp halfway, and then Kenny's gonna catch me. So this way we're just kind of getting used to driving up the ramp. I don't have much space to drive, so give yourself a lot of room when you are about to drive up onto the ramp. I'm gonna drive up and I'm just gonna sit on my bike, and then I'm gonna stop and come back down. Okay, now I'm gonna back my bike up. It's okay to sit while you're climbing up because then that way you can touch with your ramp if you feel panicked at all. So we're gonna do the same thing, and I'm just gonna sit on my bike and then come back down. Okay. So do that a couple times, and once you get used to driving up the ramp, you can feel the ramp under your tires, and it's not that bad once you start getting momentum into it. So now I'm gonna do a big drive around, and I'm going to ride up. All right, now that I am on top, I have my ratchet straps easy and accessible for me to strap down my bike. So the key component here is consistent throttle, consistency going up the ramp. And like you saw, have a buddy to catch you every time you come up if you don't feel like you're gonna make it. You can stop. In my case, my bike is big for me, but I have lowered it 2 inches, so I am able to touch just in case. And having a couple of friends, or if not one buddy, that can help you sturdy up your bike to back you down. So eventually you want to keep your feet on the pegs when you are driving up the ramp, but in our case, because we are learning, it's okay to keep your feet kind of floating. You can do the octopus legs just in case, just so you can get the feeling. And like I said, the more seat time you put in to this drill into loading your dirt bike into the back of your truck, the better you're gonna get at, and you're gonna be able to put your feet on the pegs and then stand into it as well. So I'm giving that consistent throttle into the ramp, and then as soon as I get into the bed of the truck, I pull in my clutch, I pull in all my brakes, and I stop. And once you're here, you strap your dirt bike down. All right, so I'm gonna take my ratchet strap here, and I have the loop, so I'm just gonna put that around. Put that in and pull this so we don't have too much slack. Buckle that down, and then we're gonna do the same on the other side. I highly recommend practicing this type of load a few times. Dedicate like a good hour, and every time you practice loading, it's just gonna get easier and easier. So what you could do to practice, either you can do this at home if you have an area where you can adjust your ramp to different heights of terrain on the ground, whether you have a slope or not. Or you can go to your local staging area at your dirt bike trails or at the MX track. Find different grounds where you can practice loading and unloading. The different types of angles of the slope is going to determine the steepness of your ramp. So the more you practice, the more seat time you get, the more confidence you are going to have every time you load your dirt bike. Thank you so much to Ericsson for sponsoring today's video. I absolutely love all their products, and I do truly feel safe and secure, not only with my precious cargo, but with myself as well. So thanks to them, and thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Bye.